I love it.
So we're out on country this morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning, and I'm with a great friend, Stu, who's one of the traditional and original and current custodians of this land. Has a lot of love for nature and for mother, and just wanted to have a brief chat about some of the concepts, I guess, of wellness and mindfulness as they are kind of practiced and exist in the wisdom that is that comes through the Aboriginal culture and tradition and people. So I think it'd be great, Stu, perhaps will just maybe give us a bit of a background into yourself, brother, and this land that we're on.
Definitely. So what am I? My name's Stu. I'm a Dharug and Waka Waka man. So Dharug being kind of Sydney through to the foothills of the Blue Mountains, down the Hawkesbury River. Waka Waka and Gubby Gubby are near Gympie in Queensland. So that's where my great grandmother was from. And my grandmother on my dad's side was born in Waverley. So they're really important countries to me, and they're just home. You know, that's where I've learned all about my culture and my identity, and you know, walking country has been a huge part of my life. Being able to connect and just feel the trees and the animals and be part of something bigger than us is always really humbling.
Yeah, beautiful. And what you just touched on it, but what part does nature have in the day-to-day, I guess, well-being, physical, emotional, mental and spiritual for your people?
Well, I guess everything. So this is, nature is what we call mother, is what was created for us. We've created everything else. We've created the houses and the buildings and all those things to kind of, I guess, lock mother out at times. But for us, she's everything. The trees are my brothers and my sisters, or my aunties and my uncles, and I have relationship and kin to them. So caring for them and being the custodian of them is actually just brings a sense of obligation and an opportunity to fulfill my obligation to them. My obligation also extends to people, but I can't look after people if there's no mother to look after us. So for us, just connecting and taking time to stop and enjoy and appreciate are a massive part of culture. The smells of a leaf. You get a gum leaf and you crush it in your hands and you smell it. Just grounds you, like instantly. It's just a instant grounding. We talk about mindfulness, or this concept of mindfulness, and there's no better place to do that than in nature. Than in mother. Just having your shoes off and just walking and letting her heal you. Is massive. That mindfulness is about always walking with reverence and respect and gently on the country.
That's beautiful.
Oh, cheers,
It kind of, and it's so simple. It just brings me back to almost to childhood. Where we spend time just out playing, and in play we're in connection with the trees that we're climbing on, the land that we're walking on, and it breaks down that barrier between us and nature, because we're just a part of it at that point in time.
Well, essentially we are it. We're made up of the exact same thing that the trees and the dirt and everything else is made up of. It's all made up of, scientifically, atoms, and we are the exact same thing. We're no different. For us, we don't look at it as different. It is us. We are it. And if we separate ourselves or think we're above it, then we've actually lost the point of us being here in the first place. But you're right, it's simple. It's so simple, and it's not hard at all. And we know when we get out in it, we feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, every time.
You know?
And I guess that's something that people, who are in a lifestyle where we're in offices or whether we're in cities or towns, the simplicity of just getting out into nature.
Yeah.
And it can be as simple as walking out into the streets and looking at the sky, or it might be getting into a park, or you might be lucky enough to be able to get to a beach or an ocean or some beautiful country or bushland and spend time in it. But it's just as simple as that, isn't it? It's like that grounds you and just starts to become a well that you can draw from in terms of the well-being, because nature just helps refill it every time you get into it.
100%. All that we do to her, she still gives, constantly gives and gives and gives, because that's the love mother has for us. And you're right, it is as simple as getting in those settings and just stopping. You don't have to do anything other than sit and just look, feel, listen to the breeze coming across, feel it on your face, listen and hear the birds, look at the birds. If you can just do that practice, I guarantee you've already started being mindful. And then from there, be grateful. Thank mother for it. Thank for that connection. Be grateful for it, and have that gratitude. And you do that 15 minutes a day, you're really going to feel so much better about yourself. We are all custodians of this land. If you live here, you're part of this country, this Nurapa, Nura, this camp, and you're a custodian of it just as much as I am. My people have been here for hundreds of thousands of years, or you may have migrated here, and it doesn't matter to us. What matters is that you care for our mother the exact same way that we do, and in that you'll get the rewards. When you live your obligation, you actually find satisfaction. When you find satisfaction, you can actually find that gratitude for things, and it's the little things that really will add up over a long period of time. Over the course of a day, being grateful for those. Every little positive thing that happens leads to a fantastic day. My Uncle Paul Callahan calls them 10 out of 10 moments.
Yeah, he has such a great way of just simplifying that, doesn't he? And just waking up in the morning and feeling grateful that you can breathe.
Yeah.
Or waking up in the morning, putting your foot on the ground and feel grateful that you have a foot. And it may sound overly simplistic to a lot of people, but it's the stuff that we often forget that holds such magic for us. And like you said, you go walking in nature and you hear the buzz of a bee, or you hear the sound of the birds like we can hear now, and it just brings a smile to you. It brings this joy that can kind of drop into the other aspects of your life. You take back into work, or you take back into your family, and you can be more present with them, but also just into your relationship with yourself and how you choose to live life every day. And just by, as you said, just these little micro moments, just being conscious of them and just bringing them into your daily rhythms and routines can help give us so much.
You can see it everywhere. Just even if you're a parent, a smile from your child, in the morning, or a good morning, can just fill you up. And you just looking at the birds flying around, they're not concerned about anything. They just happily sing and go about their business, and they do the work that they need to do, and the rest of the time is spent playing, just connecting and playing. And I think we get to this adult point in our life where we stop playing, and playing doesn't have to be running around anymore, but for me, sitting in the bush and just connecting is that playing. So remember to have that youthfulness in what you do, that youthfulness of enjoying every moment that you get is a really important thing.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, mate.
My pleasure.
It's always beautiful to hang out in country.
Yeah, we have to do it more often.
Yeah.